Hi, and welcome to another episode of Inside NDF, sponsored by National Dance Foundation. Each week, we interview another fascinating member and mover and shaker of the dance industry. This podcast is dedicated to dance and dance education and all those who make it happen. Inside NDF is sponsored by National Dance Foundation, whose mission is hashtag KIC, kindness, inclusion, and community. It reaches out to everyone and offers the opportunity so everyone has a chance to dance. Today, we are happy to introduce and welcome back Julie Kay Stallcup. The last time we were together, we talked about, Julie, why working and educating dance teachers was so important to you, and along with why you have chosen to serve as a member of the board for National Dance Foundation, which personally, I have to say, has been phenomenal having her involved. But now, because of your love of dance, one of the things that you've been really proactive with for National Dance Foundation is our Proud Partner Program. And we've started a new educational program that's going to be spearheaded, and you're actually taking the lead in February. Why do you think the Proud Partners is so important to be a proud partner for National Dance Foundation?
Well, I mean, I think it's important that we all come together as a community and support each other because community and community has been everything I've ever wanted when I owned a dance studio and just being a part of what I do every single weekend. I want to make sure that every dancer knows that their community loves them and supports them. Even if it's a competitive atmosphere, there's healthy competition. And I think that every single day we need to push that in our studios kindness and inclusion, community, connection, all of those things. Because if we don't, then what is our community going to look like? And why would we just throw it away? So we've got to work together to make that. And being a proud partner means that you're part of something that's amazing of people that are like-minded like you.
I love it. And I love that word that you said, connection. And that's so important because the more connection we have, we really feed off of each other. It makes every link in the chain a little bit stronger. It really helps us. And that's why we are so happy to have you at National Dance Foundation to really help us with spearheading that Proud Partners program. But let's talk about you. So you, of course, are up to do 50 million new things, which are so exciting. So first, tell us about the Nashville Dance Business Conference in July.
All right, I'm so excited. I am going to be heading to Nashville July 16th through the 19th. And I love the word adventure. My mom and dad are deceased, but something that I love about my mom after my dad passed away is that we would go on adventures. We did it when I was a kid, but really as dad passed away, we wanted to do adventures. Like we were spontaneous. We would just go and do things. And I was like, you know what? Here's the thing. I love a dance teacher conference, but I like a boutique dance conference, which means that it's less than 100 people. So we could connect more and have fun. And so I did a Big Apple adventure. We went and saw Broadway shows. We rented out it was such a cool dance studio, totally like an old school dance studio that you see. And you're like, oh, it's just so exciting. So I rented out a studio out there and it was awesome. I brought in one of the leads from Chicago to teach a master class and a really good friend of mine. Her name is Pia Hamilton and she was in The Lion King for 7 years.
Wow.
She's fantastic. And she was in the original Barney, which is cool. Right? But she's so fantastic. And I got to bring in, just for that New York adventure. And I did Big Sky, Montana, because Montana is like the place that I feel the most alive. It's the craziest thing.
Beautiful.
When I went there, I was like, I've got to bring teachers here. So we did it up in the mountains and it was just so beautiful. Like just every place that we go to, I try to bring a sense of energy that is just like nothing else. We did Nashville first and we're bringing it back because Broadway is right there. It's going to be at the Drury Hotel and it's right next to the Johnny Cash Museum, which is one of my favorite singers ever. I feel like I act a lot like Johnny Cash, y'all. I'm like, yeah, come on now.
Come on down.
Come on down now. But I'm excited about it because there's 2 specific tracks. a dance teacher track and a studio owner track, and I'm bringing in amazing, amazing people.
Tell us about, so let's saddle up, which we see on there. Tell us about your staff.
Okay, so Guy Groove is probably one of the best hip hop teachers I've ever seen in my life. His mom owned a studio. He's up in the Massachusetts area, and now he's really huge in LA. He's choreographed a ton of stuff for this girl group that Jojo Siwa put together, and he's just so good. And he came from a studio background, so that's what I love as well. So he teaches he's taught recreational kids, and then he goes into the playground in Los Angeles. And then what I love even more is I met him on convention, and we just clicked and vibed, and I just love him, and I think he's going to be a great asset. I have Suzanne Garrity from Revolution. She is a wonderful, wonderful educator. And I love having her as a sponsor as well, because I love Revolution as a company. But I think what's so great is she knows the ins and outs of the business and, what's doing well in
the dance studio also. So
she knows the things. So she always brings so much love. And what I love is that they own a company kind of like what I own, but we're buddies and we support each other. And that's what it's really all about. I'm tired of seeing the dance industry not come together and people just like, this should be fun. And guess what? It should be a dance and a good one. So I love that.
What do you hope that the attendees or the studio owners are going to come away with? So what is your goal that you want them to come away with?
That they know so much from what they've learned. Like, I'm going to create Canva templates for them to be able to just go home and put their logo on. The dance classes are going to be structured to where they have printouts to help guide them and help them along the way. They can take home tactile information that is ready to scan and to put into place, versus them having to go home and rewrite all of these notes and try to figure out how to do it. I'm making it so
been there, done that. So I know
me too. And I remember laying in bed one night after a conference, like crying, because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do it all. I'm so stressed. And I was like, if I ever do this, I'm going to make it really easy. Because you know what? We work so hard in the classroom with those kids. But I've also got Becca Redder. Come on. She's a legend. She's amazing. I love the Redder family. She's fantastic. And guess what? She's on convention with dance makers doing exactly what I'm doing with LA Dance Magic. We saw each other in the airport, fell in love with each other. And I was like, dude, you're coming with me. We got to do this. Andrea Trench, she has a preschool platform that is out of control. I love her to pieces. She's fantastic. Kelsey Nelson, got so many followers, I don't even know how to count. She is a jazz master teacher. She's fantastic. She does a lot of drills and dance team stuff, but like jazz foundational and mechanics. She is brilliant. And then last but not least is Jason Kuzner, and he owns Burbank Ballet Academy, and I've known him for a long time. He is so phenomenal at ballet and contemporary choreography. His dancers they win at YGP. They're in the top 10. Like, they're phenomenal. So I have a wide range of people coming along with my team leaders who have been training with me for 4 years. So they're going to get so much love. Plus, we're going to have parties. We're going to go country line dancing. I don't know. We might even.
We're in a great spot to have fun. Nashville.
I know, right? I'm like, there's a place called Coyote Ugly there. You never know. You might find me tap dancing on top of the bar, right? I don't know.
Maybe somebody will send us a picture or we can talk about it next time. I loved it. It'll be so much fun. So, but through all of this, you have a new creation, something you've started, and the color suits it well. Yes, the Taproots. So tell us about Taproots, about the curriculum, how it started, where did you come up with the idea, why should I do this, and all the above.
Okay, how it came about is crazy. Mandy Yip.
I love crazy, and I love Mandy Yip. So
okay, yes. So Mandy and I decided we've been on a couple of vacations together. We started this group called the Vision Sisters, and we went on a couple of vacations, and we were at Dance Teacher Web Live, which I love and support so much. And we were having breakfast, and I was showing her what I was creating, and she goes, "Hey, what do you think about doing a tap app?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm ready. What are you talking about?" Well, she has this amazing, talented sister who loves tap dance. and her tap terminology and everything is so cool up in Canada. I was like, why don't we take this like international feel and bring my feel to this, and we could collaborate with tap teachers all over the world. And tap is such a wide like language, and I love it so much, but the root of the history of where it came from is so deep into my heart. Like Peg Leg Bates is my favorite tap dancer, and I can't wait to tell my students all about Peg Leg Bates. But what I love about Taproots is it's formulated just like acrobatic arts. It's an app that teaches you a breakdown of every single step. And there's progress cards that go through there. And then even more amazing is before this podcast, I just trained for 2.5 hours, these dancers, and they do a 2-day course to get certified in teaching a program from primary to level 6. Wow. And they go through a 2-day training. They get their certificate of completion and their badge. And I'm excited because it shows them complete structure of how to create a tap community inside their studio. And the format is fantastic. I've loved creating it. I created over 25 to 27 warm-ups. The videos were filmed in Brooklyn in Canada. And we filmed them in the middle of Times Square as well, like at a dance studio. So we auditioned kids from all over the country, and they flew in to become my assistants. It's just been amazing.
That is amazing. So how did you find the kids to bring in? Did you send out and have them audition? Did you know them? Did you see them at conferences?
I wanted to open it up because I don't know what's out there. And so I feel like we had like 25 or 26 kids that auditioned, and I took around 9 or 10 of them. But I was really like, there were some amazing kids there. I really like to pick the dancers that need a little bit of help and some guidance. I really love showing teachers in a teacher training program that not everybody's got the steps perfectly. So when a child struggles, my job is to support them and love them and guide them, so they see that they didn't have it. And then with a couple of techniques and a couple of like tools that I gave them, they were able to get it, which is important to me as a teacher. And I'm a teacher that is inside the classroom every week at a studio. I don't just go, here, I got all of this and I'm not in it. I've owned a studio for 15 years, sold it, and now I work for a dance studio. So I'm in the trenches with it every day. And I think it's important that you should learn from somebody that is in the trenches with it every day.
It makes a big difference, because what the theory is and what the reality is don't always necessarily go along together.
Yeah.
It's nice because, tap teachers, you have some great tappers and some great tap teachers, but to have a structure to follow and a curriculum, how has that been impactful to these ones that you're sending out? Like, okay, let's do this in September, October, November. How has that really helped for the others?
Well, what I love is, I think this is the 4th training that we've done. We've had people from Australia, England, like we've had international people come together, and what they've said is now they feel that they have a proper system in place to teach.
Good word, system. A good system in place.
The system in place, because here's what happens. Let's say I'm teaching 7 to 9-year-olds, and then they get to Miss Kathy and they don't even have a flat ball change. There's no way that you can teach time steps if you move up a level. So we're trying to get the foundational steps in there, because the foundation, when I'm judging a dance competition, I'm like, great, you can hold that leg up as long as you want, but can you do a pivot turn, a paddle turn? Can you do foundational steps that formulated the combo? Or even more, a transition step of making sure that it's transitioning and it's looking clean and put together as a final classy product.
And for a studio owner, because today you have studio owners that might not be that tapper, but if they bring in this program, then all of their teachers can, like you said, be on the same page.
It's a
because
track.
Sometimes they might love Miss Ann, but they might love Miss Julie Kay. But you know what? Tuesdays at 4:00 is just not happening for them.
Yeah.
So they have to go to Wednesdays at 5:00, and that's going to be Miss Kathy. But if you're on the same page, that makes a big difference. So that is amazing.
The printable worksheets help teachers, as I show you. It helps them stay on track, because here's the other thing too. This happens in dance studios. Miss Julie Kay's sick for 2 weeks. Miss Kathy's got to take over. If there's a printable progress report and cue cards to help them, then Miss Kathy as a teacher feels more confident going in and saying, okay, last week we worked on single time steps. Guess what? We're going to work for the next 2 weeks to make sure that we can transition from the single time step to the double time step. And
Right.
if we feel like we got that, we might go to the triple. So you leave them with a little bit of like, right? But
It
then
makes everybody comfortable.
correct. Yes.
So you do certifications with this and training?
Yes. I mean, it is like 8 hours of training between 2 days. Melanie,
Now, if somebody wants to get more involved in this, how do they go about it? Do they
taproots.dance. You just go to taproots.dance. You go in there, you see when we're having these certifications. And also, I'm just telling you, when you buy the app, the monthly subscription, y'all can go on. And what I love about it is the video, the app. It will show you the steps. And if it feels like it's too hard, you can obviously go back, right? So you can learn the steps as if you're not a foundational taps teacher and you're wanting to become that to help your resume and to help children progress with rhythm and musicality. This is a great course for you. It really is, because it'll show you all the things that you truly need to get that kid to the next step, but correctly and broken down. And what we love about it is it's dancers just like you have in your studio doing the steps so that they're capable of getting to that level.
So why tap? I mean, it could have been ballet, it could have been jazz, it could have been contemporary, it could have been anything. Why tap?
Because I feel that when I'm judging dance competitions, and I'm judging so much contemporary right now, which is fine. I love it. I love lyrical. I love all the styles. But one thing that I see that's happening is that dancers don't know music theory. They don't know rhythm. They don't know timing. And so it's my job. I felt like it was my job to bring this to the community along with the other amazing people that teach. Because if we don't teach the music theory and the downbeat, the upbeat, and not just following like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's so much more out there than even counting. And so I know when kids take tap, their musicality is better. And I can see it in hip hop. I can see it when they're hitting accents in jazz. I'm like, that kid takes tap.
Isn't that funny?
Yes.
Because you would think that you wouldn't realize how instrumental that taking tap, like you said, that you're able to go with your timing and hit your marks at just a certain beat and know the rhythm. You would think for a good dancer, that's just secondary, but
you can see it. And I think that the other thing too, when I was teaching tap class last night, I liked taking their tap shoes off and putting it on their hands, putting us in a circle and showing them a cramp roll rhythm and passing that along around the circle. And then I can identify the kids that are having trouble hearing the 1 or the 4 or the 8. You know what I mean? It's so exciting. And that's why we really chose tap, because there's not a foundational tap curriculum. Now, Al Gilbert has some amazing stuff, but it's all, some of them are on VHS and some of it's recorded. So we wanted.
I think that was my favorite, but I think that's quite old.
And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm so happy that he did that, because you know what? Without that, I don't know if I would have been inspired to do this. That's our goal in this industry, is to take the root where it came and to keep creating. Honor the root, but keep creating, because when we create, the vision is there, the inspiration is there, and then guess what? You have happy tappers out there.
Right.
I mean, and people are like, you shouldn't call them tappers, you should call them tap dancers. Hey, if anybody's got metal on their feet, I'm happy.
And it's interesting because as many kids that almost everybody starts out taking tap as a young person, but you don't always get it. So that means so much more to have all this going on.
I love a combo class. I will believe in a combo class until they put me down. Until I'm done. A tap, ballet, jazz class till I die, because I think that everybody needs to know the fundamentals if they want to know true dance.
Oh, I do too. And taking all of that away, I think the kids have fun because they get to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
If ballet might not be your strong thing, then you like the tap, but
Yeah.
maybe the jazz is fun. So you have a little bit of everything.
I always say like a combo class is like the buffet.
We all love a buffet.
I love a buffet. I'm like, no, I want this. No, I want this. I want this. But you know
I'll
what?
try a little of this, I'll try a little
A
of
little
that.
of that. I like it. Yes.
It's so funny. So you have Nashville Business Conference coming up. You've just started Taproots. So with all of this, why is NDF still important to you?
Well, I think the one thing that sticks out that I love staying with it is because everybody's supportive. No one, like if I say, hey, what about this idea? Everybody's like, yeah, this is great. Let's try it. And I love groups that are, it's worth a try versus everybody trying to find a problem. Like my goal is to find a solution. Like let's solve the solution. So I love it because I don't think anybody argues. You know what I mean? Like I want us to all get along. Let's all learn from each other and grow from each other. And it's nice to find a group that has that positive layout. And it makes me inspired because I'm like, great, I want to learn from Nancy. I want to learn from Gio. I want to learn, you know what I mean? From Erica. I want to
Still
learn.
amazing. Still amazing. Nancy Stone is still
Oh,
amazing.
are you kidding me? This is the whole reason I'm on this podcast with you as my girl.
I know it is.
It is.
Amazing. So with that said, what encouragement would you give? Because we've moved to National Dance Week. It is now going to be the beginning of October, the first Friday in October. We moved it to the beginning of the dance year so people could start out their dance year with a celebration. Why is that so important, National Dance Week, to you?
Well, because
Or
yeah.
we would say to everyone.
Well, here's the thing. When you start, most studios start in August or September. Okay. And a lot of studios are year round, but like your traditional dancing school starts in August or September. I think what is so cool is that September gets you ready. Like, hey, let's get ready. And then it just carries on to celebrate what we're learning. And it navigates us to our ending result, like National Dance Week. Like, okay, this is great. We're learning, but ultimately our goal for the end of the year is to do well at our recital. So it sets us up for a pre-performance of learning choreography and the whole process, but it's honoring who brought it here. Like Patrick Swayze in Dirty Dancing, like Kevin Bacon at the very end of the movie Footloose. Like everybody wants to have a party and everybody wants to dance. And when you see, like when I watched the Grammys the other night, there was more dancing in the Grammys this year than I've ever seen. And it was so inspiring to see that they supported, like Sabrina Carpenter pulled tap dancers together. Like Doechii it was so good watching all of this happen. And these dancers living their life. This is their dream, is to dance. So when when it comes through that week, it's like, let's celebrate what makes everybody happy, dancing.
And let's celebrate what makes everybody feel good. Like we also have through all this, not every person who goes to dance class every week is going to go on and be that best dancer, but they love dance. So we have essays, what about dance history? We have our inclusion project where, you sign a poster and get everybody to talk about kindness. It's such a way to promote so many positive aspects that both you and I talk about all the time that are so good, not just it's bigger than dance.
It is. I tell everybody, I have a little girl in my class and her name is Lily, and her mom sent me a message yesterday and she was like, you bring out the best in my kid. She loves dance because of you. And here's the thing, we have such a big connection. She knows that I love Broadway shows. So I bring my musical theater class playbills from billboards
would be a little
No, I bring them playbills. And you know what? She knew that meant a lot to me. So she brought me a playbill and it made her want to go see a Broadway musical. So for me, like that, planting that seed, I don't know if that kid's going to be a professional dancer. I hope she does. But if she doesn't, if it helped her to get up in class and do a presentation, knowing that Miss Julie Kay was there for her, I am always there for that kid. I want them to stand up, have that chest up proud, that chin up, and those eyebrows raised, knowing that, you know what? I am confident in who I am, and dance gave me that.
And that's everything.
That's everything to me.
That's everything.
It
That's
is. It's
everything.
what makes me cry. And I'll cry in the middle of me judging a dance competition. I'm like, oh, that kid feels it. I just can't take. I mean, and everybody laughs at me because I'm like, I'm the person that cries at the grand opening of supermarkets. I don't know
No,
what.
please, I cry. I'm with you. I cry all the time. I mean, a commercial could move me to cry, sometimes. No, wonderful. Well, listen, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. So before we go, do you have any final comments or anything else you'd like to add?
All right. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day because my dad's been gone for a long time, and it was his birthday this past January. And he would always say this, and I know it's from a George Strait song, but I love it. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. So make sure that you're having a
Ooh.
good time. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
So I think I'm going to adapt that one too. I like it. I like it. Well, thank you again. And thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. If you'd like to learn more about National Dance Foundation, please visit our website at nationaldancefoundation.org. And all of the tap routes and the Nashville Business Conference, you can find those links and all Julie Kay's links below in our YouTube channel, or you are listening to us on Spotify. You could go right there to the YouTube channel and get those links. So I want to say thank you, everyone. We will see you again next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, noon. But in the meantime, as always, keep dancing. Thank you.
Bye.